Before the first missile ever leaves its launcher, before a drone ever crosses a radar screen, the real battle has already begun. What if I told you that some of the most dangerous attacks against U.S. forces don't start with explosions, but with silence, patience, and psychological pressure designed to exhaust decision makers before a single shot is fired? What if the next major confrontation isn't announced by breaking news, but unfolds quietly through deniable strikes, shadow proxies, and weapons designed to blur the line between war and peace? Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are diving into one of the most closely watched and misunderstood military challenges of our time, how Iran targets U.S. military assets and why its approach is far more calculated, layered, and dangerous than many people realize. This is not about one battle or one base. This is about a long game played across regions, domains, and decades, where patience is as powerful as firepower and perception can be as lethal as precision weapons. Iran does not seek war with the United States in the traditional sense because it understands the overwhelming conventional superiority of American forces. Instead, Iran has built an entire military doctrine around avoiding direct confrontation while still imposing cost, risk, and uncertainty on U.S. assets. This approach is designed to stretch U.S. defenses, complicate decision-making, and slowly erode political will. Every move is meant to raise a question in Washington, in allied capitals, and in the minds of commanders on the ground. Is responding worth the risk of escalation? One of the core elements of Iran's strategy is the use of proxies and partners across the Middle East. Rather than striking directly, Iran empowers aligned groups to operate in Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, Yemen, and beyond. These groups provide plausible deniability while keeping U.S. forces under constant pressure. A rocket attack on a remote base, a drone launched toward a naval vessel, or harassment near a strategic choke point forces U.S. commanders to stay on edge. The suspense lies in not knowing whether an incident is isolated or the opening move in a larger campaign. Every time a proxy acts, it sends a message without Iran having to sign its name. That message is simple and chilling: U.S. assets are never truly out of reach. This constant low-level threat creates a psychological burden that is just as important as physical damage. It forces the U.S. military to invest enormous resources into force protection, intelligence, and early warning, even during periods officially labeled as peace. The loop continues because every defensive adjustment reveals something about priorities and vulnerabilities. Another critical layer of Iran's approach is its investment in missile forces. Ballistic and cruise missiles form the backbone of Iran's conventional deterrence. These systems are not designed to defeat the United States outright, but to threaten key bases, logistics hubs, and infrastructure across the region. The shock is not in their numbers alone, but in their diversity and deployment methods. Mobile launchers, hardened shelters, and underground facilities complicate detection and targeting, keeping adversaries guessing. Missile attacks serve multiple purposes at once. They demonstrate capability, test defenses, and generate headlines that amplify their impact far beyond the actual damage inflicted. Even limited strikes can force the U.S. to reposition assets, reroute aircraft, or temporarily suspend operations. Each adjustment feeds into Iran's broader goal of shaping behavior without triggering full-scale war. The suspense here is deliberate because unpredictability is a weapon in itself. Iran has also embraced unmanned systems as a central tool for targeting U.S. military assets. Drones provide surveillance, harassment, and strike options at relatively low cost. They can be launched from land, sea, or even disguised civilian platforms, making attribution difficult. The real danger lies not in a single drone, but in the cumulative effect of repeated incursions that test response times and rules of engagement. Every drone encounter forces a split-second decision. shoot it down and risk escalation, or let it pass and risk intelligence collection or attack. This dilemma is exactly where Iran wants its adversary to be. The loop tightens with each encounter, conditioning U.S. forces to expect constant pressure while never knowing which moment truly matters. The emotional weight of that uncertainty is enormous for those tasked with defending lives and assets. Naval operations are another arena where Iran applies asymmetric pressure. In the confined waters of the Persian Gulf and surrounding areas, small, fast attack craft, mines, and coastal missiles create a complex threat environment. Iran's strategy here is not to defeat the U.S. Navy in open combat, but to raise the cost of operating in critical waterways. Even a brief disruption to shipping lanes or military transit can have global economic and strategic consequences. Harassment at sea is carefully calibrated. It stops short of outright war, yet remains aggressive enough to demand attention. Each close encounter, each warning shot, and each near miss becomes part of a psychological campaign. The suspense builds because one miscalculation could spiral into a crisis, and everyone involved knows it. This constant tension serves Iran's objective of keeping the U.S. off balance while avoiding decisive retaliation. Cyber operations add another shadowy dimension to how Iran targets U.S. military assets. These actions rarely make headlines, yet they can be deeply disruptive. Cyber intrusions aimed at logistics systems, communications networks, or supporting infrastructure can degrade readiness without a single physical strike. The shock here is invisible, unfolding quietly behind screens and servers. Cyber activity allows Iran to probe defenses, gather intelligence, and signal capability. Even unsuccessful attempts force the U.S. to divert resources towards cybersecurity training and redundancy. The suspense comes from not knowing what has been accessed, what has been altered, or what might be triggered in the future. In modern conflict, uncertainty itself is a form of pressure. Information warfare plays a complementary role in Iran's overall approach. Narratives are shaped through media, social platforms, and strategic messaging designed to influence public opinion and political debate. By highlighting U.S. casualties, questioning the purpose of deployments, or portraying itself as a defender against foreign aggression, Iran seeks to weaken domestic support for military presence abroad. This information battle is constant and adaptive. It evolves with events, exploiting moments of controversy or fatigue. The emotional connection point is powerful because public perception can ultimately influence policy. Every story, every image, and every statement is crafted to raise doubts and amplify the sense that the cost of engagement may outweigh the benefits. Iran's targeting strategy also focuses on logistics and sustainment, understanding that modern militaries depend on complex supply chains. Fuel depots, transportation routes, and support facilities become indirect targets through proxy attacks or political pressure. Disrupting these elements does not require defeating frontline units, yet it can severely limit operational effectiveness. Each disruption forces contingency planning and rerouting, increasing strain on personnel and equipment. The suspense lies in the fragility of systems that appear robust on paper but rely on uninterrupted flow. Iran's doctrine recognizes that pressure applied far from the front line can still shape outcomes on the battlefield. Regional geography amplifies Iran's leverage. Operating close to home provides familiarity with terrain, culture, and networks that external forces lack. This home field advantage allows Iran to blend military, political, and social tools seamlessly. U.S. assets, by contrast, operate far from their primary bases, dependent on host nation cooperation and extended lines of communication. This imbalance is exploited through subtle signals and calibrated actions. A base attack here, a naval incident there, always stopping just short of provoking overwhelming response. The loop continues, conditioning adversaries to accept a certain level of risk as normal, even as the cumulative effect grows. What makes Iran's approach particularly challenging is its integration of all these elements into a coherent strategy: missiles, drones, proxies, cyber operations, and information warfare are not used in isolation. They reinforce each other, creating layers of pressure that are difficult to counter simultaneously. Responding to one threat can expose vulnerability to another. This multi-domain pressure keeps U.S. planners in a constant state of adaptation. Resources must be spread across air defense, missile defense, naval patrols, cyber protection, and intelligence collection. The suspense for decision makers is knowing that prioritizing one area may leave another exposed. Yet failing to prioritize risks everything. The human dimension cannot be ignored. For service members stationed in high threat environments, the knowledge that attacks can come without warning weighs heavily. Long deployments under constant alert conditions test morale and resilience. Iran's strategy implicitly targets this human factor, understanding that exhaustion and stress can influence performance over time. Every alarm, every intercepted threat, and every near miss reinforces the sense of vulnerability. This emotional pressure is not accidental. It is a calculated aspect of deterrence and coercion. By keeping U.S. forces in a perpetual state of readiness, Iran seeks to make presence itself feel costly. From a strategic perspective, Iran's ultimate goal is not victory in the traditional sense, but leverage. By demonstrating the ability to threaten U.S. assets across multiple domains, Iran aims to influence negotiations, deter attacks on its own territory, and assert regional relevance. Each successful demonstration of capability strengthens its bargaining position. The suspense for the global audience lies in how close this balancing act can come to the edge without tipping over. History shows that miscalculations, accidents, or misinterpretations can rapidly escalate situations neither side intended. In such an environment, even small incidents carry outsized risk. As technology continues to evolve, Iran adapts. Advances in precision guidance, artificial intelligence, and autonomous systems are incorporated into existing doctrines. This evolution ensures that the challenge facing U.S. forces is not static, but dynamic. What worked yesterday may not work tomorrow, and that uncertainty is a strategic asset. At the same time, U.S. countermeasures grow more sophisticated, creating a constant cycle of action and reaction. Each side learns from encounters, refining tactics and adjusting thresholds. The loop of suspense tightens with every iteration because the margin for error narrows as capabilities improve. Understanding how Iran targets U.S. military assets requires looking beyond individual incidents to the broader pattern. It is a campaign of pressure, signaling, and restraint designed to operate below the threshold of full-scale war while still shaping outcomes. This gray zone is where modern conflict increasingly lives. The stakes are enormous. U.S. forces represent not only military power, but political commitments to allies and partners. Any perceived weakness or overreaction can ripple across alliances and adversaries alike. Iran understands this, and its strategy is tailored to exploit the complexity of global leadership. As viewers, analysts, and citizens, recognizing these dynamics helps cut through sensational headlines. The real story is not just what happens, but why it happens and how it fits into a larger design. Awareness is a form of preparedness, and understanding reduces the power of surprise. Looking ahead, the question is not whether pressure will continue, but how it will evolve. New theaters, new technologies, and shifting alliances will reshape the landscape. The only certainty is that ambiguity and suspense will remain central features of this confrontation. In a world where the next incident could emerge from the shadows without warning, staying informed is not optional. It is essential. The strategies discussed here affect global stability, economic security, and the lives of those who serve on the front lines. So stay alert, stay informed, And stay engaged, because understanding today's conflicts is the first step toward navigating tomorrow's crisis, and the next development may arrive sooner than anyone expects.